Hello again and welcome to Ndudu by Fafa.
Hello everyone and welcome to my creative African cooking channel Ndudu by Fafa. My name is Fafa Gilbert. And today on the menu, I do have the classic Ghanaian bean stew recipe. And I'll be using the oil from my palm nut soup for this recipe. I'll leave a link at the top so you can actually find out how I got the oil. So now let's start. You will need your black eye beans for this recipe, and that is readily available in most supermarkets and local grocers. So this is a recipe that you should try. Now, it's best to soak your black eye beans overnight or for a minimum of an hour. This would cut your cooking time in half. Once you've done that, place your black eye beans in a saucepan on a medium heat, add your water and bring it to the boil. That should take you about 45 minutes and you'd end up with beautiful, soft and creamy black eye beans. Absolutely. It is a fair statement to make that red red, which is the classic Ghanaian beans recipe, so it's beans with palm oil, is similar to the bean stew. The difference is the bean stew actually has more flavors involved. So in the name of me and flavors, we together, me and flavors, we like each other a lot. So I'm adding some salted beef here. I will leave a link at the top for you to actually see how I made my salted beef. You can make it yourself. It's all natural flavors. Yet again, you're not adding anything that your body would not like. Yes, absolutely. Now, you notice when you make your own salted beef, the color will be darker. It would not be the classic red color that you would be accustomed to. Reason is, I have, in this case, excluded saltpeter, which is one of the chemicals that's used to retain the redness of the meat. But this is all natural flavors, so the flavors are still there. That's not compromised, but this is healthier. So yes, do bear that in mind.
I've not even started yet and I'm so excited about this bean stew. If you have watched my palm nut soup recipe, you would notice that I infused that palm nut soup with some flavors. So the oil obviously has taken on the flavors that I added to the palm nut soup. So I'm melting my palm oil here. Yes, you do. Into that, I'm adding my salted beef. So this is some infusion that is going to take place. I'm going to fry this gently to allow the oil to infuse its flavors into the salted beef and for the salted beef to also infuse its flavors into the oil. So I'm enhancing the natural flavors of the dish. So fry this gently for about 45 minutes. So this would allow the beef to also be slightly crunchy, but tasteful as well. And I'll tell you what, the smell alone, it's incredible. Usually, some people would use momone, which is also like rotten fish, but I prefer to use this because it's different and it's just beautiful. I've added my onions. Yet again, I'm going to fry this for about 4 minutes to allow the infusion to take place. Now, this is where I'm building upon the flavors bit by bit. So for that aromatic and slightly spicy flavor as well, I'm adding some green chilies. Frying this for about 2 minutes. And then I've got my remaining passata, which is my cooked tomato sauce, as you can see here. I'd leave a link at the top so you can actually make this and reserve it in your freezer and use it as and when a recipe does require it. It allows you to cut your cooking time in half. So with this, I'm mixing everything together till it's well combined, and I'm going to fry this mixture for about 5 minutes, yet again on a low heat, because I'm building upon the flavor and I want to cook it perfectly. Flavor no. Miene, nketing, ketesa, beimba, be flavor amba, over vam. You see what I've done? Now you take a step back. I can see that you're salivating. It's not even ready yet. Now let's add something else to this. Of course, you can use your normal sardines or your mackerel, tin mackerel, your tuna, but I prefer to use my sardine that is in a rich tomato sauce. That sauce alone is so beautiful that it pairs really well with this mixture. This is so simple, but so good. So fry your mixture for about 4 to 5 minutes to allow the flavors to infuse and to heighten that flavor. So now you know that your stew is ready to take on your beans. So the stew is now ready for me to add my beans. Now I have omitted salt from this recipe, mainly because I've used the salted beef for it. So there is enough salt to flavor this stew. And I'm adding my beautiful creamy black eyed beans. And I'm mixing it gently. Of course not. At this stage I was hungry. But you think I'm done? Oh no, I'm going to be cooking this gently for at least about 6 to 8 minutes to warm everything through and just to allow the flavors to just infuse. And then I move on happily to the next thing. Are you enjoying this so far? So you will know when your bean stew is ready because you would see the oil settle at the top. Now, because I haven't used a lot of oil that settles at the top, it will be a little bit difficult, but you need to use your eyes. You will see how creamy the sauce is and you will see tiny specks of oil settling on the surface. Then you know it's ready. So at this point, I've just added some chopped green chili for color and for extra flavor and for that heat. Yes. Now I have got a surprise for you. You would not believe what I serve this with. Okay, so I'm making tatale, but not as you know it. So I have got my over-ripened plantain and I'm adding peanut flour. Yes, I know, right? And I've got 1 teaspoonful of my ginger blend, which is my ginger, onion, aniseed. I've added some chopped onions and also chopped green chilies. At this point, I was hungry, washed my hands, and I'm just mashing this. Ideally, I could do the fancy thing and put in the apple to you and a sunk, and just mash everything. I was hungry. I switched the camera on. I'm like, I'm mashing you like there is no tomorrow. So do ensure that your hands are clean and your fingers are clean, obviously, when you actually mixing things like this with your bare hands. So at this point, I think I have the right consistency. It's just perfecto. Add your salt to taste and mix everything together till it's well combined. Now, this bean stew recipe was one that I had almost every Saturday during my childhood. And I remember when I was filming this recipe, I had this amazing conversation with Mom. And she reminded me of how I became fed up with this. I don't think I've actually cooked it since. So this is my first time in a very long time of making this. Anyway, after a minute, your oil is ready to take on the tatale. So scoop a ladle full and spread it evenly, as you can see here. Now, the reason why I've not made this oil too hot is A, plantain is sweet and it has a higher sugar content because it's over ripened, so it browns quickly. So if you're not careful, you could end up burning the tatale without cooking it because it will be uncooked in the middle. So regulating this temperature on a medium heat allows the heat to evenly cook this just beautifully. Now, an indication of when to turn or flip the tatale over is when you can see the dark edges. So you can see it starts browning at the edge and you know that yes, the bottom is held perfectly. So as you can see here, that's it. Scoop it and twist it. Ha ha ha. Now bear in mind, when you're actually making tatale, it can be tricky sometimes. I have made tatale in the past where I've burnt it. You have to learn from your mistakes. So it's imperative that you follow these instructions as well. So why did I use the peanut flour for this? Bear in mind, you can use your normal flour or your roasted corn flour, which is known as Tom Brown. That is not a problem. However, I wanted to recreate that kilewille flavor. So it's like the spicy kilewille with the peanut flavor. So that's where the infusion took place. Yes, absolutely. And that's why I was taking this dish. Now, when I tasted it, I was so happy with that decision that I made. Now, I think there is a lesson here in terms of taking risks. You have to push yourself. You have to take certain risks, because if you don't, you wouldn't know. Success includes failure. So you cannot be successful when you've not failed. And you cannot fail or be successful when you've not tried. So you have to keep trying till you get it right. So that's my philosophy. And I followed that day in, day out. So now that I've got my tatale ready, my beef stew is ready. The only thing now I'm missing is some palm wine and the big tree with my table and chair. And eating this. Because I've not had it for a long time. But I've recreated this dish to suit me. So look at this beauty. Look at this golden beauty. And as I always say, this is not any other food. Ndudu oglona enye ala. Ndudu enye ya. Ndudu by Fafa. Food by Fafa. Kake ni nyona. Nune. Ona beninke tatale elehwe wo side. Flavor zone in the mouth. And then I'm doing my shenanigans. So last year I discovered this herb called the chocolate mint herb. Yes, you heard me right. So it's a bit like After Eight, but it's a plant. Yes, and that's what I'm garnishing my beautiful tatale and my bean stew with. Now, all I'm going to do is sit and eat this to my heart's content. Adding. I hope you are inspired to try this recipe, and if you haven't clicked that subscribe button as well, that I have given you a reason to click that button like now. Thank you very much. Also the bell next to it, which is the notification button, click that. What that means is each time I do upload a video, it is sent straight to your email address, no wahala. Now leave the transcript of this recipe, including the list of ingredients and measurements on my blog, ndudubyfafa.blogspot.com. So do check it out.
Now until next time, take care of you. Be nice, be beautiful. Just be kind. So just work on yourself to be a better version of yourself each day. I'll tell you what, if you do that, your surroundings, your aura just exudes positiveness and it attracts goodness to your life. I know, right? Yes. Yes, even during the dark days, trust me. These are little memory banks, as I always say. Being a better version of yourself, creating lovely memories, doing little things like eating your favorite food, appreciating it, appreciating the little things that you do for yourself. Yes. You feel good about yourself, you won't have time to backbite, gossip, do all those. No. You're concentrating on being a better person. So you're lighting every dark corner of everywhere you go, really. Yes. Until next time, take care of you. Peace out.